10,000 in number, nor Maniacs on the bandstand. They are four men and a woman, a beguiling rock folk band from upstate New York. Their repertoire is a virtual litany of social issues put to music: poverty, child abuse, teenage pregnancy, Nicaragua. In some ways, the Maniacs are an unlikely success story, but successful they are.
Talk about it. Talk as if you care.
They've been called the public television of pop music.
They sing about issues. Their words are meaningful.
You know, it's kind of neat because this band, I could talk to my parents relate to it.
Oh, what's the matter here?
10,000 Maniacs. Their name may be confusing, but the message in their music is not.
There's songs about child abuse, and to me that's important.
10,000 Maniacs may not look like a major rock band, but they're on their way to becoming just that. Their 1986 album, In My Tribe, went platinum, selling over 1 million copies. And the current release, Blind Man Zoo, spent 13 weeks on Billboard's Top 20.
When I started playing with the band and singing, it started to make sense. I want to create something, and this is what I want to create.
25-year-old Natalie Merchant is the group's lyricist, vocalist, and spiritual leader. She and the band met 8 years ago at the local college radio station in Jamestown, New York, the small industrial town where they all grew up. For Merchant, music became an escape from the boredom of small-town life.
We had a tent that we traveled with, and if the tent didn't work out, we'd just start going through the audience and asking people if we could sleep on their floors.
I tried and tried, but I can't say.
Today, it's her songs that are asking the questions. The music of 10,000 Maniacs is the platform from which Merchant challenges the world around her.
There's this desire in me to speak of what's important and not waste time. I'm singing songs about child abuse and illiteracy and, orphans of war and things of that nature, and I can't really treat them lightheartedly.
Child abuse, you talk about pregnancy, war. Do you think those are women's issues?
I think that this most recent album has the strongest feminist voice that I've ever allowed myself to have. Yeah, there's definitely very strong issues that women would understand on this album. I'm also speaking on behalf of 4 men who are in the band.
Is that a problem? You're speaking on behalf, as you say, of 4 men.
Any conflicts that there are resolved before the album comes out. Once I rewrote the lyrics 3 times to a song because no one else in the group agreed with what I was saying.
The issues that she has chosen to sing about puts Merchant in an elite new group of women rockers. Artists like Tracy Chapman and Suzanne Vega, whose social concerns distinguish their music. Do you think your music makes a difference in people's lives?
Maybe a lot of our audience is young, and I think maybe my song Campfire Song, which talks about greed in relation to the environment, that this song will affect them in some way, the way that they think.
That you can't beg nor steal, nor can you buy.
And I know that the songs do in a way affect people because they write me letters and I talk to them. That's really great, that's communication.
One song that has struck a particular chord among her fans is The Big Parade, the story of a young boy visiting his father's name on the Vietnam War Memorial.
I had a woman who actually sent me her father's Purple Heart, who had been a helicopter pilot in Vietnam and died. To her, the medal didn't really mean anything. I left the letter and the Purple Heart at the War Memorial because I didn't feel comfortable having it either.
Did you write her back and tell her that?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Trouble Me is reportedly about your father.
I think that's what made me write the song. So my father was very ill and in the hospital. And I would go and sit with him for hours and hours. And I've started feeling like I wasn't just the child anymore. I was becoming a caretaker instead of always being taken care of. So the song Trouble Me is all just asking him to let me show that I care for him.
10,000 Maniacs' unexpected success has put Natalie Merchant in a difficult position. She worries about being swallowed up by the commercial system that she and the band have tried so hard to avoid. Can you be a rock and roll star? Can you be out touring? And
I can't be a rock and roll star.
You don't consider yourself a rock and roll?
No, I could never be a rock and roll star. There's an arrogance that goes along with that I just can't, I can't justify. I think America is really obsessed with its pop culture and its pop celebrities. And that's not always such a healthy thing, I don't think. I hope I express some joy with my body when I'm dancing. You can't work for a better world unless you know what a good life is.
Merchant says her life will always include music, but perhaps without 10,000 Maniacs. She denies industry gossip that she'll leave the group, but she doesn't rule out solo projects.
I think about doing a different type of music that maybe we're not capable of doing. There's a lot of music that I would like to make, and it doesn't always have a drum kit in it when I hear it in my head.
The man 190 takes his Dior alone.
10,000 Maniacs have been able to voice many of the concerns of their generation. And while Natalie Merchant is pleased with the band's success, she still grapples with the prospect of fame.
I'm heating up through the door.
You're certainly going in the direction of becoming less and less anonymous.
It's possible. At a certain point, it's beyond your control, I think. We've been able to contain it, I think. Mostly because people weren't that interested.
But you're not willing to stop it, in other words.
That's a question that I have, is when to stop. There's always been a thought in my mind that there'll come a day when I just say that's enough and I'll just retire and not be seen again.
On your journey as you go.
But right now, I'm investigating. And what I'm investigating is the human condition.
We'll surely fly to the day when we shall meet again. By the time you say goodbye.